That is one bull loving coin. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Nice day out there, and as you know, this is my local camera. I'm only like 2 blocks down the street from this bridge, or this pier, not a bridge, a bridge to nowhere. Look, pier, about 2 blocks that way, and gosh, it just got a good heavy rain here, but man, it's beautiful. It's smoothed out real nice. Hope we have a nice weekend, and I hope you do as well. Well, let's kind of move into today's topic. I didn't have a lot to really. It's shame. I'm sorry, shame. Same old Shinola out there, and that's kind of like just a nice word to say. Same old crap. And there's not much to talk about. I mean, markets are kind of a little bit up, a little bit down. You know, that's the problem with doing a daily report on precious metals is coming up with something new to say. So, boy, there's my dilemma on a daily basis. However, today, what was I going to talk about? We've talked about just about everything. We've talked about the fiat dollar. We've talked about cryptos. We've talked about all these different things. So I figured today I'm going to do the show you what I look at and what I read. And I think because I stay away from corporate media, I don't watch corporate media. Period. I have not turned on a news station, CNN, MSNBC, Fox since 2008. I believe I turned it off. And stop watching the single view narrative, the single point narrative that these different corporate media tries to feed you. And after that point, I started seeking out different sources for data, different sources for opinions, different sources. Because a lot of stuff has to do with opinions. No matter how you slice and dice it, not everything is fact-driven. I mean, a lot of things that drive things, people for opinion is based on opinions, perceptions, and opinions. And sometimes that leads to facts. So I'm going to show you what I read and the things that I look at on a daily basis. And maybe not on a daily basis, that wouldn't be true, but I at least check into once a month my different news sources, who I like to use for checking on data and all that good stuff. So hoping to make you a smarter bear. You're already a smarter bear. You're listening to videos like myself and other videos, and you're out there reading. It already tells me that you're way ahead of the curve compared to most people, and that you are indeed smarter than the average bear as well. I mean, after all, you are stacking gold and silver, aren't you? Let's take a look at spot prices here today. And again, not much happened. Gold got pretty much monkey hammered a little bit. We were near that 1800 mark. Remember I told you psychological barriers, or psychological numbers, I should say, and you could call them barriers at some point. 1800 is it for gold. And take a look. Slam 22 bucks. I think it was even lower than that. 1766. 08, and let's take a look and see when that happened too. Is something I've been having fun doing, a little something different, is taking a look at the 24-hour chart and seeing which market or what time it happened. So look at that, 1766. I mean, crap, that's like what is it, $34 down almost, or a 30-something plus dollar down. Currently only 22. It's up a little bit from there. Silver has felt the smack down too by almost about 50 cents here. 23.10 the low, 23.61. Currently sitting at 23.38. And platinum 1045, 1062, and doing well, holding on its own at 1058. So the metals are kind of getting a little monkey hammered. And let's take a look again when this monkey hammering occurred for gold. Let's look at the 24-hour chart last October. Look at this, same old Shinola, different day, almost at the exact same time. Take a look here in the morning, as it has been. The monkey hammer. The monkey hammer hasn't been on Sunday nights or Fridays anymore. It's just happening during the day at the opening of New York, it appears. And probably carrying through with London. That's probably the London market. And then there's New York right there. And then it kind of up again in New York. So this same pattern has kind of been repeating itself. Look at yesterday. Look, about the same time, except you can see through the London market, you're going up there. Then the opening of the New York market, bam, all right? Same thing here. Opening the New York market, bam. Didn't happen the day before, but, oh, hold on. No, it did happen. Hold on. That's today. That's yesterday. Okay, so not much yesterday after that up day we had. And then there's same kind of pattern. Look, that would have been the 13th and the 15th, about a day separation. Look at that, about the exact same time. Make of that as you will. Let's look at silver, and you're going to see the exact same thing in the chart as silver. 23.38, almost identical times that these two markets have gotten hammered at the same time in the same market. 23.10 to 23.16, and again probably happened on the 13th and the 15th. Let's take a look here. Yes, yes, yes. The charts do not tell lies, more or less. And October 15th, this is us today. Look at that. About the same time as gold, you saw the smackdown in the New York market, and then kind of rising back up there again. London slowly creeping down with silver. That would be London right there, I believe, that mark. And then if you take a look here, you can see New York, boom, boom, boom. Smack down and then back up to where we're kind of at right now. But look at that, October 14th. That was our up day. Isn't that funny, too? The up day on silver was the exact same. Look at the down day before. Same times. This activity, this unusual spikes and these unusual dips here that we're seeing happening about the same exact time in New York. These ones spread out about 2 days apart, just like silver. Again, make of that data as you will. It's odd that both metals get smacked down at the exact same time in the exact same market. And if you overlay the charts over each other, they almost look identical. Two entirely separate types of metal. And what could that be accounted for? Stronger dollar strength is somewhat what people say out there. Well, it's a stronger dollar that's doing that. Perhaps on some way in the way that the managed money is trading, not so much the commercial banks on silver. And as far as gold goes, I don't know who does the smackdowns on that. Of course, GATA.org talks about who does that. That's big central banks that are doing the smackdowns on gold, while you've got commercial banks doing smackdowns on silver. A little bit of both. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So that's the markets we exist in today. I suspect they're going to close about the same level. I can't see gold making up its up to $1,800 today, but tough to say. Silver is not too far off, 20 cents off its high from yesterday, so not a big deal. And platinum's doing quite well. The platinum, like I said, was in the green today a little bit, while both of those metals were in the red, and they kind of come back up a little bit. So platinum seems to be leading the way on the rocket ship to the moon sometimes. Again, it could just be coincidence that platinum looks like it's a tell. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I guess you have to watch some past shows here. I've been talking about how platinum has been a little tell, or kind of like a tell for the last few weeks or month or something, even longer maybe. All these days are kind of getting melded together. I'm losing my sense of time here, folks. So let's do a refresh here. And again, let me just kind of see where we're at. Yeah, about the same. Not too much of a difference there. And where do we go from here? Well, I got something cool to talk about. I have someone reminded me yesterday. Said, "Well, what should I have someone else hold my gold and my silver for me?" And my first thought was, no, not really. That kind of, the point of owning physical gold and silver is not to have someone own it for you. I mean, gold's small enough to store. Silver maybe not so much. If you've got enough money, you might have some storage issues. But there's no need for ETFs. There's no need for having people hold on to your stuff. I mean, the only good reason for an ETF is if you had it in an IRA, okay, where it's really hard to hold physical gold on your own unless you have one of those weird programs that you might get away with it or whatever. I don't want to talk about that right now either. So maybe in an IRA you might hold it, or in some kind of account that you can't hold physical gold. But again, I don't see the point of that too much. I think that the best thing to do is you hold physical gold, because no matter how good the ETF, whether it's SP, Sprott, whatever, you're still incurring some degree of third-party risk. And I don't care if they actually got your name engraved on the bar. That didn't matter to what happened. That big New Jersey deal, John Corzine, I think it was, and that whole thing went down. People had allocated silver bars with their name on it, basically, serial numbers of the bar. And when that whole New Jersey corporation went bankrupt, more or less, the bankruptcy court says, F you and your allocations. we're taking your allocated silver bars and we're going to distribute. That's just what the bankruptcy people said. So people that had allocated silver, so that's what I think of allocated silver personally, folks. That you're not guarded from third-party risk. It's not in your hands. Well, let me move in here. If it is in your hands, well, what do you want to do with it? Well, you want to have a good hiding place or a good place to stash it. Unfortunately, a lot of people have their, and I see this on Wall Street Silver, and I see this, a lot of people have these cheap ass safes, man. You know, first off, most of these gun safes you see, and most of these safes you can buy for $1,000, $2,000. I mean, I hate to say it, but unless a brand new safe, a good safe, brand new, of any kind of quality, is going to be, I mean, these kind of safes right here, where you might get a B rating, a BC rating, and this is what the insurance company will insure you up to. Already, our burglar rating with no burglar alarm. They'll give you up to $5 grand for these. But look, if you have a TRTL 30 times 6 in your home, an insurance company without an alarm will insure your stuff up to $500,000. Why is that? Because this particular safe can take, I forget what it is, 6 times. They can spend so much time in fire. That's tool and fire or something like that rating. And again, I forget exactly what it was. But most people buy safes in these ranges right here, B, BC rated. Some of them are not even B rated. A lot of gun safes are the worst. Let me tell you. A lot of people, oh, my gun safe's expensive. My guns, they're not, folks. And I would rather see, especially gold. Silver's a little hard to do. I'd rather see you, if you own your own home, go on Google or DuckDuckGo, that I like, and do a search for places to hide silver or valuables or gold or everything. There's all kinds of different places you can hide them in your home. I mean, look, people hid bodies under their floors. Look at that guy that hid all those. I shouldn't be laughing, but you know, you can hide just about anything in your home, and gold is not a hard thing to hide. Either is silver. So if you can't afford a good safe, avoid getting these crappy ass safes. You know, all they are is a big. First off, even if you have a great safe, all right, someone can still come in, put a gun to your head or your loved one's head and say, open the frickin' safe. And what are you going to do? So I'm not a big fan of safes in homes, number one, unless they're well hidden. And they're an excellent safe, okay? But as far as having cheap safes, and especially if they're just exposed to the public, there's no point of it. It's just a big, I got valuables here. You could have nothing, a lump of coal in there, and people would still think you have valuables if you got a safe in your home and it's visible. Let's take a look at how safe a gun safe is. And now this is your standard gun safe right here. I got the dial. I don't know how many digit number that is. But take a look at this. I don't have the sound on it, but I want you to kind of take a look at how long it takes for these guys to get into the standard gun safe, or the standard safe that a lot of people use. We're at 4 seconds here. Let's see how they do this. Now, I'm not trying to give you instructions on how to open a gun safe, but if you happen to lose your combination in your gun safe, it's this easy, folks. And my intention is to frighten you if you own a safe like this, because these are not safes, folks, and you don't want to stick your livelihood in this. Maybe if you had it hidden well and no one could see it, but watch how quickly these guys get into it. And I'm going to kind of fast forward this up a little bit. There's your 46 seconds. As you can see, they're prying around the edges just with standard pry bars. This guy's even got a short pry bar. This guy's going to make easier work at it. And again, these aren't even power tools of any sort. Ready? There's a minute 7, minute 18. Yeah, they've already got the whole corner up. You know, at this point, they could probably just reach in and grab all your gold and silver. But no less, these guys are going to finish the job. Minute 36. Oh, boy, done. Minute 41. Bang. Less than 2 minutes. That safe was open and cracked. So listen, if you've got your valuables in a gun safe, you know, I'm not even a big fan of putting your guns in a gun safe. They're not that secure. It's great for keeping people like a run and grab kind of deal, but you know, you definitely don't want to have an exposed safe in your house. And if you got a safe, hide it somewhere where no one sees it. And if you got one of these gun safes, just realize that's exactly what you got. It's something that someone can break into in 4 minutes. What is a good safe? Let me see if I can find one. And look, I didn't even spell breaking right. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can find one. Tan safes. Tan safe. Let me see if I can find this tan safe here. There's a TL30 versus tan safe. If you can go out there and find, these are probably the best old safes on the market. This is a TRTL 30 times 6. And this video right here will probably show you, let's just kind of take a look. God, that is an old school tan safe. But I tell you what, you are not breaking into that sucker. Ugly as it is, that's going to be, you know, I forget what they told me. It's like 6 hours of power tools. It would take them 2 days with a saw and a torch to break into these things. They're thick steel, in between the steel. So tan safes are really good safes. And again, don't cheap out on a safe. Call your local safe guy and see if you can find yourself a good secure safe. What I really like here, I think these are the best safes for most homeowners, unless you live in an apartment, in which case your neighbor downstairs wouldn't like it, is floor safe. Floor safes are great, folks, because I mean they're not the most securest thing, but the nice thing is you got to find them first. And if you don't tell anybody you have safes in your home, or valuables for that much, whatever, you don't tell people you have a safe in your home, and you don't show people a floor safe, chances are they are never going to find it. So I really like floor safes. Where's the safe? And that's kind of cool. That's what you want to. You don't want to see a big gun safe in someone's bedroom or anything like that. That's exactly what you want someone to think. Where's the safe? There is no safe here. And ideally, again, if you live on the ground floor of a place, a floor safe is wonderful. You can peel up the carpet, stick it under the bed, stick it under there, underneath the carpet, in the closet, in the middle of the room. Again, floor safes are wonderful. Here's a little video on installing a floor safe. I don't recommend, that's a nice one too. I don't recommend when it comes to floor safes to doing your own. Safe companies will come out and do it for you, and that's what these guys do for a living. And again, they're safe, they're vetted. So a good safe company would put this in. I guess if you're handy though, why not? You could put in your own floor safe. So I love floor safes. I think it's the most economical way to keep valuables inside your home. And again, secretly too. No one can see it unless you tell them about it. Well, let's move on to, speaking of Reddit and safes, let's see if we can find some safes on here. And I like Reddit. If you're not subscribed to Reddit and you are a silver stacker and you do put away silver, it's a very cool site. Lots of different people out here in all different kind of economic ranges showing what they're buying and selling. Let's take a look and see if I see. A lot of times what kind of scares me too, because I see people with their safe, I don't even like the idea of some of these guys out here showing what they own, but I guess their names are anonymous. It's like, hey man, I own $10,000 worth of silver and here's my name and here's where I live. But I guess a lot of these are anonymous too, so you're really not going to find where they are. Look, there's no pictures of safes today. I usually see a bunch of gun safes on here with silver stacked inside, which kind of made me think about that video. And here, let's move out of here and talk about a couple other things. Media. What do I look at on a daily basis? What are my sources? I've been doing rare coins and precious metals since 1977. Started working for my father, and really full-time not too long after that. I think it was 80 or 81 when I got into it full-time. But I'm a second-generation precious metal dealer and a rare coin dealer. I do wholesale and retail. I've done both ends of the business, so I understand them pretty well. And I know a lot of the top people in the industry as far as rare coins go. And rare coin and the bullion industry are closely tied together. A lot of people are not familiar with that or know that. Let me kind of go over a couple things. For the longest time, I had a subscription to Wall Street Journal. I mean, I had a 10-year, 12-year, I don't even remember what it was, a decade or more. But I started, again, after 2008, I still kept the subscription, but I started realizing even the print newspapers were getting as bad as the corporate media online. It was a single point narrative. The opinion was always based on the official narrative. And I kind of got sick of hearing the official narrative. I mean, I guess you can say that depending on which administration is. People that like the blue administrations are going to like the narratives that come out of the blue administrations. People that like the red administrations are going to like the news that comes out of the red administrations. However, myself, as a kind of independent and socially liberal but fiscally conservative guy, which means that I don't care what you do, just don't make me pay for it. As long as you don't hurt others and you don't make me pay for it, hey, the world is your oyster. Have a lot of fun, my friend. But no less, I'm not either flavored by. So I noticed that corporate news caters to either flavor, and I wasn't. I was a little bit of both flavors. Again, I'm socially liberal, fiscally conservative. Best of both worlds, supposedly. And I just started to notice the Wall Street Journal just got really just as bad as all the other publications. I can't read. I mean, look, is there any real negative in here? It's like the narrative. Retail sales rise, showing resilient U.S. consumer. What the F does that mean? Really, when you consider the numbers and what's really happening, it's like they're just spinning BS or spinning the official narrative BS on. So it's almost like they're working for the man. So, and the man, yeah, it's a bunch of old white guys around a desk in black suits with black helicopters. No, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying the official narrative, and you know what that means. There's an official narrative when it comes to economics and politics, and usually whoever's in control has the official narrative, unless when it comes to media, which it seems that the blue side has control mostly, but that's a different story for a different day. So I don't really read the Wall Street Journal anymore. I don't look at it. I'll look at the front page occasionally just to see what kind of smoke they're blowing up people's asses, and take a look at the stock market. What do I read? Well, first, let me go into a couple things here. I like Wall Street. I like the Wall Street Silver guy. And first thing, I use for a search engine DuckDuckGo. All right, and I'm not sponsored by anybody I'm talking about. They don't even know I exist. Okay, so DuckDuckGo. First off, because I notice when I use DuckDuckGo, I won't get all kinds of annoying ads, and I don't think they store any information about ads and stuff on people. So if I'm out here on DuckDuckGo looking for tires, or I'm looking for coins or jewelry or whatever, I won't see it pasted across every website I go into, like Google and others. So I really like DuckDuckGo. It's a little weak as a search engine, but it gets the job done, and it's in my opinion very anonymous kind of somewhat, and they don't store your information and sell it to people. I don't think they do, at least. Who else? When it comes to investments and stuff, there's a lot of words out there. There's a lot of confusion. I mean, it's like you almost have to be an attorney or a doc to understand some of the economic terms and the graphs and the charts and all that stuff. It's very confusing. It's confusing for me. Again, my specialty is gold and silver and bars and bricks and coins. So, buying and selling, understanding the spreads, knowing where to get it from, knowing how the stuff is made. This is my specialty, not really graphs and not really, and I admit that, I always have, and not really the technical data and the background stuff. So I did learn to find that Investopedia is one of the best places to, I like it. I can't stand Wikipedia. They're completely politically one-sided, so I don't even look at their stuff anymore. So when I'm looking for most anything, as far as investment terms go, I'll go to Investopedia. For example, let's type in managed money, because we've talked about that for a little bit. Managed money definition now, and again, I really like their definitions. They seem to leave the political side out of it. What is managed money? Managed money has key takeaways. Managed money refers to this, and let's type in, for example, again, I'm showing you what I used. If I don't understand a word, a term, or some other investment type lingo, I'll type it in here. Commercial bank. What's the difference between a commercial bank versus what is it? A commercial bank, investment bank. Let's see if it comes up with a commercial bank versus investment bank. There you go. Look, it even has that in Investopedia. Because the thing is, folks, when you're listening to this economic stuff, the harder it is to understand, the chances are the more you probably need to understand it. And if you don't have the key terms and the words together, or the words to fit it inside your brain and make sense of what's going on, you're really going to be clueless. You're not going to be smarter than the average bear. So you need to take the time to learn these things. Even if you think you know them sometimes, which I've done before. I thought I've known something for sure and then found out I wasn't right, And again, as I say, usually I usually learn things from people I don't agree with. So those are the biggest lessons I've got in life. And nobody likes to learn something from somebody they don't agree with, but it happens, and that's usually your best lessons. However, I like Investopedia. I won't go into a lengthy thing about Investopedia. I think they're one of the best sites out there for looking up investment terms, words, and economic terms. Who do I like for graphs? I like macro trends, man. They're just awesome. Search over 200,000 interactive charts. They have these great interactive charts. Look at the gold chart, all right? Let's look at the interactive gold chart. And actually, hold on a second. Precious metals. Look at that. They've got I didn't even realize that. I went to their homepage. First time I ever saw this on their homepage. Precious metals. Ready? Take a look. Gold prices, 100-year historical. Gold prices versus, ooh, man, I think we just kind of hit something here we can talk about more in the future. A couple charts I haven't seen. Show recessions. Ooh, there's an interesting chart. Gold prices versus oil prices, historical relationship. That that's much more tied in than I thought it was. Wow. Okay. But here, just my point, folks, we're going to get back to this because there's some cool charts on here I have never even noticed before. I only use a few of them. See, you learn something new every day, sometimes even by mistake. So I like macro trend charts here. Here it is right here, macro trends. Charts are great. I'm learning more and more about it. I had a good conversation with a gentleman on my comment section who apparently made a living doing charts about it. I don't think I looked to see if I had any more comments on there, but yeah, I have a lot to learn about charts, but it's always been my feeling that charts tell you where you've been, not necessarily where you're going. But maybe that's not always true as well. So macro trends. Again, I don't want to digress into a different topic talking about charts. Macro trends, great charts, great stuff. Definitely a good site. And since I got you here, again, go to this page today, take a look at this and hit precious metals. Before we start talking about some of this stuff, they have some really cool charts down here. Palladium prices, platinum prices, silver. All right, a little bit of everything as far as charts. My new favorite reading, and I've got to tell you, I knew I've been gushing over Ted Butler. You'd think I was in love with him or something, by the way I've been speaking about him. But the new subscription I got is worth every penny that I'm spending. I'm understanding the background COT reports. I'm understanding exactly who the players are between managed money and commercial banks. I'm not. I'll be spouting less bullshit out of my mouth because of Ted Butler, because there's a lot of BS spouted about who's doing the manipulations, how it's done, and a couple of other things. I learned an interesting thing from Ted Butler the other day that on ETFs, that he feels that the ETFs are backed by real physical silver. But I'm going to learn more about that as I go. I kind of always thought that maybe ETFs, even they're unallocated accounts, a lot of it I believe, but I always wondered if it's if the silver is owned by more than one entity. If someone has it in a storage facility, does SLV own it? Does someone else own it? That claim's been made with the GLD by Gada many times before, that the gold is not allocated to any individual, and that maybe multiple entities could own the same ounce. Is that true with silver? I don't know. I got to learn more about that myself. And again, I don't know everything. I wish I did. I'd share it with you if I did as well. Who is another guy I like to read? Charles Hughes Smith. This guy says some really, really deep stuff. You know what I mean? It's like a slap in the face of, a reality slap is what it is. And Charles Hughes Smith is great at giving a reality slap. Whether you want to hear it or whether you don't want to hear it, whether you knew it or you didn't. I like this guy's stuff, and I recommend you put him on your bookmark bar and read him. He also, I guess you can donate to his writings too. And this particular article, Everything Solid Melts into Air. I'm just going to kind of read a little bit of it. We know we're close to the moment when everything solid melts into air, when extraordinary breakdowns are treated as ordinary and news quickly reverts to gossip. So over 4 million American workers up and quit every month after a short, and the reaction is ho-hum, blah, blah. These are large numbers. Over 10 million job openings and 6 million hires and 6 million separations and 4.3 million voluntary quits. The happy story, and again, this is what I'm talking about, the happy story, the mainstream corporate narrative, okay? And that's what he's pointing out, the happy story. As we look back at the Wall Street Journal, retail sales rise, showing a resilient consumer. That's the happy story that the official narrative wants to print, to show you. We know we're close to the moment when everything solid melts in air, when every breakdown is instantly worked into a happy story in which everything is getting better and better in every way. The reality is nobody in power wants to acknowledge, much less address, is that millions of workers are opting out or burning out and they're not coming back. See, you won't read this kind of stuff in the Wall Street Journal. You will not hear this on CNN. You will not hear this on MSNBC. You will not hear this on Fox, okay? These are blue and red narratives. They're official narratives by their particular official flavor, okay? It's a narrative, folks, and guys like Charles Hughes Smith here point this kind of stuff out. This is why I like to read alternate sources. I don't even look at the mainstream. It's poison. In my opinion, the mainstream corporate news narrative is poison. All right, and I see it all around me. I see the puppets surrounding me in my everywhere I go, my friends, my family, the puppets that swallow the wholesale narrative whole. You know what I'm saying? And I have a friend of mine that says he's not political at all. He doesn't even understand most of it, political economics. He doesn't even seem to care. But what does he do every morning? He tells me this. He gets up in the morning, he turns on CNN and Fox, and whatever he's doing, he's listening to it. For a guy that's not political and not economic, and he spends about a half hour in the morning doing that. What is there? And then in the evening, he gets home, he does the same thing. He turns on the TV news. I don't know which flavor news he turns on. This is so typical of most people. It's almost like a little half-hour brainwashing of official narrative. And again, I see it all around me, folks. You got to get away from that. I digress big time. Sorry about that. And another happy story promoted by the corporate media is that once all the government freebies ended, the lazy, no-good workforce would be forced to take whichever wretched jobs the billionaires needed done at low pay and zero benefits. But hey, you qualify for food stamps, so it's all good. A substantial share of the workforce has declared up yours, and another share has been so burned out by overwork and constant pressure they're done. They can no longer work at the pace of that for many hours. This enrages the lackeys. I like his vernacular too. This enrages the lackeys, toadies, ooh boy, that's a tough one. I know what it is, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Apparatchiks and apologists of the billionaires. How dare you escape from the forced labor? The whole economy is based on the bleak choice of take the job we offer or starve. Well, that's what happens when you let corporate America, not corporate America, crony corporate America, and crony means there's nothing capitalistic about these folks, free market capitalistic. They're in bed with government, okay? So crony capitalism means you're in bed with government. So there's nothing altruistic or good about these billionaires that run these crony capitalistic corporations. So this, anyways, I got to be careful. I'm going to go off target here. The innovation, pay attention near from Silicon Valley is to offer an illusion of choice in this forced labor system. In the gig economy, you get to choose between a Gulag Camp 1, low pay, long hours, zero benefits, and zero security, and Gulag Camp 2, low pay, long hours. And who knew life was... This is why I like Charles Hughes Smith, okay? So put him on your bookmark bar. I'll find, read him once a week. He's got some good stuff out there. He'll open your mind a little bit. And again, if you've been poisoned by the corporate media narrative for all these years, you've got to start reading. Turn that television off. Trust me. Best thing you can do, turn the TV off. Let's take a look at ZeroH. A lot of you know I like ZeroH, and why do I like ZeroH? Because they are anything but official narrative. They have all different opinions, all different viewpoints, all different perceptions, okay? And a lot of cool data and information out there. And I'm going to kind of go down the line here. There's not too much in precious metals we're going to talk about today. This just amazes me. Wow. We're living in a criminal state for sure, folks, when stuff like this happens. Lying under oath. So he gets his pension back for lying under oath. And I heard someone else, who is it, Bannon or somebody, is going to jail because he didn't go to the farce of the congressional hearings that they held. Boy, but I digress. Folks, we're living in a bizarre world when shit like this happens. And yeah, big scam right there that Wall Street and everybody else kind of was in on until they weren't, and then she was everyone's hero for a little while. Cryptos, my opinion on cryptos. It's not money. It's very speculative. It's like Wall Street, in my opinion. So if you like gambling, I think cryptos is not a bad place to go. And if you make some money in cryptos, make sure you save some of it and buy some gold with it. Don't put it all back in that market, Money management, that's what it takes to work at a casino. And cryptos are a casino. They are now. Nate, this is just sad, too. Wow, really? Whatever happened to choice? Whatever happened to freedom? I have no clue. Conservative, oh boy, that's a shame to hear. Last I heard he was okay. Again, mainstream narrative, you will not find it here. Now, there's stuff in here you may call BS, there's stuff, but you will find it more interesting. It will open your mind more. And that's what we need, folks, more open minds instead of single narrative viewpoints. All right? Sick of it. And again, not too much in articles on precious metals here. Let me just see if I can look at a different view. This was pretty good, though, done by Bullion Star, Gold in Time of Crisis, a passage out of Vietnam. It talks about how gold was used to, get people out of dicey situations when the currency wouldn't work necessarily. And again, not too much as far as precious metals. chase included intruding U.S. destroyer after, okay, interesting. Joint Russian drills, not good. These we should try to be friends with the whole world. At one time, people loved America. They loved everything about us, and our whole point is to be friends with the whole world, do business with the whole world, not be the frickin' policeman of the whole world or the complete asshole of the whole world, which we've kind of become. No less. What happened to "Can't We All Just Get Along" by Rodney King? I mean, that's the truth. When we're all getting along, when we're getting along, the military-industrial complex is not making money, and crony corporate people aren't making money. So that's where we are today. We're in that scenario. But geez, this just sucks. I mean, I went through a Cold War. I don't want to go through another one because of these idiots in D.C. and these idiots around the world. Anyways, let's just move along. And BC, again, if you like casinos, that's a good market, but be prepared to lose what you got. Gold and silver is about wealth preservation. Cryptos are all about being in a casino. And as a capitalist, hey, I think casinos are great as long as you know what you're getting into. And God, there's no call for this kind of stuff. Let's move along here to another website that I really like. I got kicked off of FB for quoting a link off this site. I had a 12-year account with FB and FUFB, and I had a 12-year account with FB, and they just took me off. They said, don't ever come back, your account's gone, blah, 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 because I quoted an article from these people who are actually, it's a think tank out of Philadelphia. It's a think tank. Mises Institute is a think tank, okay? They've been around forever. They're economic, political think tank. And again, I quoted something on, I guess, a topic that's verbatim, and I was accused of hate speech and promoting violence, which is not true at all. Not even close. But no less, really good site. Let's take a look at a couple things. They got Austrian economics and contemporary business applications. Pre-Columbian America wasn't exactly a paradise of freedom. Why a bear market in bonds points to a weakening economy. Billionaire plutocrat Jamie Dimon wants to ditch the debt ceiling. What an idiot that Jamie Demon is what I would call him, the demon and his henchmen. Too big to jail, or I mean, too big to fail, too big to jail. That's who these people are. The crony capitalists. To the nth degree, for sure. But no less, they got some great articles. You want to be smarter? You want to be smarter than the average bear? Turn off that frickin' television, folks. Start reading this kind of stuff. Start putting some of these websites into your bookmarks bar. Take that half hour you do in the morning that you'd watch those crappy-ass TV news. Turn it off, man. Turn it off. I don't care what flavor it is. And start reading more. Start reading different viewpoints. Start reading viewpoints you don't agree with, okay? As I said many times, you'll never learn from someone you agree with. You learn your best lessons a lot of times from people you disagree with. Even if you're not agreeing with them and they may be wrong, you learn stuff because you will go out and you will reaffirm. Don't reaffirm something that you're wrong on, but you'll go out and you'll look for evidence, more likely when you're called out on something. So people that disagree with you really are doing you a service, okay? Again, that's my opinion. Seeking Alpha, a site that mostly deals with stocks, bonds, and that kind of thing, but I like their gold and precious metals. I like the gold and precious metals section in the news they have here. Nothing new to read. We've kind of gone over this. It's not a lot here, but one of the things I want to do is I want to get more involved with equities. I'm a stock market guy. I don't own much in equities, didn't understand it. I've never played in fields I don't know too much about. Maybe I've left a lot of money on the table I could have made. However, I'm going to start reading more about stocks, and I really would like to invest in companies that are fundamentally sound, really make true profits. Maybe I'm dreaming, but I'm going to expand. Again, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. I would never tell anyone to buy, just keep all your money in gold and silver. No worries. Don't buy anything else. That's nonsense. You got to play in other games as well, but you got to know how those games are played. You got to know how they're rigged. So I'm going to start learning about equities and stocks and stuff, and I got to diversify a little bit more than my business and precious metals, that's for sure. So this is a good place to do it, Seeking Alpha. You can learn a lot from here, just like you can from Investopedia. I am a subscriber, and they don't pay me to tell you to go there. So GATA.org, nothing new to read here. The stagflation myth is kind of a good article if you guys want to read this, but Another thing that should be on your weekly reading list. At least once a week they place some new things out here. God, tells you who the players are, how the markets are rigged, and all that good stuff. If you're buying gold and silver, especially gold in this particular instance, you must have this on your bookmarks bar. You need to know how the casino rigs the game. You need to know who the players are. These guys will tell you. Politics, economics. Here is a wonderful one a friend turned me on to a couple years ago. And I've liked it ever since. It's called the American Institute for Economic Research. Gets into some heavy stuff. This is why I don't discuss it on my videos here very often. No less, it has a big influence on what I talk about and my thoughts and things like this. And I highly recommend, again, turn off the CNN, turn off MSNBC, turn off Fox, turn them all off. And if you do anything, just read this site for the amount of time that you would have spent watching the news. Trust me, you will be smarter than the average. If you start reading this site, you'll be smarter than the average bear as far as economics and politics go. No doubt about that. This article is done by Money and the Constitution. It's done by Robert Mulligan. Really excellent read, as are the rest of these articles. 5 college campus myths Pennsylvania road to serfdom, grocery feed gains in the everyday. Listen, this is smart, intelligent stuff written by intelligent people, not by puppet masters like you get on CNN, Fox, MSNBC. Again, turn off the TV news, folks. That's the best advice I can give you. If I can give you any advice all year, that would be the number one, and I hope you do. Liberty Tree, now this is kind of more opinionated, and the stuff they post, and I guess, boy, I didn't know that, but it's kind of interesting. This goes into more political stuff than it does economics, but they do talk economics too. You can temporarily prop up the stock market. The result is inflation. Some good stuff out here as well, Liberty Tree. And again, I'm just kind of showing you all the different things I read. Liberty Tree I don't read as much, and same thing with Renegade, but Renegade is kind of a cool site as well that makes you question certain narratives, which I think is a good thing, and says Renegade is an independent media platform for people who think differently. We find thinkers, writers, again, thinking outside the box, doing anything but being part of the mainstream narrative, folks. That's what is really important, having a mind of your own. And when you turn on that box in the morning and the evening and you listen to that bullshit, you're not thinking for yourself at all. Turn that crap off. Another decent site here, the Future of Freedom Foundation, Tyrants of the Nanny State, Why Education Freedom is the Best Choice, online. Restoring Our Civil Liberties, $1 trillion makes 3.5 trillion make bigger government plan. There's all kinds of good stuff on and it talks. This is more of a libertarian angle site too, but there's some good stuff in here, man. Highly recommend you put this on your bookmark bar. This show has all been about just kind of telling you who I am and where I get my data input. You know the old thing, garbage in, garbage out. Well, the same thing applies to good information in, good information out. So what I'm trying to do is, and again, some of this may be opinion, my opinion, that this is why I read this stuff, and this is why, I come up with the opinions that I do. And this is, I'm trying to show you who I am, what I read, and what influences me. And what does not influence me is the corporate mainstream narrative, okay? Not in the slightest bit. In fact, it makes me want to run the opposite direction. Well, I've kind of gone over all my reading things, all the things I like to look at, all the things that have me saying to you every day what I say to you. Okay, I don't come up with this stuff out of I don't dream about this stuff. God's not talking to me, so no, or a voice out of the air is not talking to me and telling me to say this. I read this stuff. I take what I believe and I put it in my videos here, and I just kind of wanted to go over all the different things that I like to do. Oh, hey, you might even have some fun seeing what kind of videos I watch as well. Let's take a look at my video subscription list. Let me show you. You're going to be surprised to see that there's no silver or gold on here, whatever. I got to get. There's my channel right there. I like the Coral Cams. I like the cop videos. I got to admit, active self. But if you take a look here, you'll see Aussie Man, totally pointless TV. Action Lab, Boats versus hollowware. You will not see any gold or silver. You know what? You know why? Because when I'm done talking about gold and silver, I don't want to watch videos about it. That's for sure. And I'm sorry, but I think at some point though, I got a new computer coming, and I might do that screen in, screen stuff, and start actually looking at other people's videos and start talking about other people's videos. But we'll see. Maybe that's for the future. But these are all my different things that I read, or Backyard Scientist, OE Fitness, Kalashnikov Group, 19th Century Customer States. Boy, this guy just got shut down. What a shame, too. His videos got shut down by the place he works for, sadly enough. Hickok 45, one of my favorites here. I like watching this guy. He's good stuff. He's very campy too, man. He talks my language. Well, anyways, hey, let's talk about yesterday's video. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. It was a roller coaster to the moon. That's my description on gold and silver. That gold and silver is a roller coaster to the moon. And I don't think many people, most roller coasters, you end up lower than when you started, okay? This is not typical roller coaster. Gold and silver are the roller coaster where you start low and you end up in a higher location than you were. And there's a lot of dips in between. So I call it the roller coaster to the moon, you know. And because the ultimate destination in a fiat debt-driven world is the moon when it comes to gold and silver. The ultimate destination of fiat and debt is to hell. So, you know, they're riding the choo-choo, the roller coaster to hell. We're riding the roller coaster to the moon, folks. And that, I really honestly believe that. I wouldn't be pumping this stuff if I didn't. It's all about wealth preservation. And how can a roller coaster only go down? It's made of silver. Hey, thanks for watching. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I didn't see too many. Oh, Bert Kuhns from Germany is watching. Thank you, Bert. Appreciate that. Nice to see someone outside my area. Hope you have some good local coin stores out there. And as you all know, I'm all about dealing locally. I don't like dealing online because you know, I like to see that money kept locally, and plus I think local guys can do a better job ultimately, you know. And again, keeping that money local is a real important thing. I advertise to beat APMEX, JMS, D Bullion. I think they're good companies. I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. I think you'll get your product. I think they sell real product. But no less, I can give better advice. I can do everything they can do better. So I can even do the prices better. And again, being small, not having their type of overhead that they have, it's easy to do, and also having access to the same markets they do, even better markets. I think that it's easy for a local guy to beat them. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Midas. And I really appreciate Chris and D-Man and all you guys that comment as well. Thanks for watching. And I think I'm going to call this a wrap here. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to try and do my best to do that. And if you got any questions, you live local and you want to do business with me, I am a brick and mortar only. I only deal locally. We're here 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays. Come on by anytime, and we'll help you out. We'll get you hooked up. And I think that's it. Like I said, have a great weekend. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I really appreciate the support and you folks watching. Thanks again, and I hope I showed you something with my reading material. Talk to you later. Bye now.